Hi, welcome to Happy Bee Swedish Lessons. In this lesson, we are going to talk about reflexive pronouns, in Swedish, reflexiva pronomen, again, reflexiva pronomen. Before we go deeper, I would like you to imagine that you are facing at the mirror. Now, what can you see? Precisely, yourself. A reflection of yourself. The mirror reflects back the same person. Why am I talking about the mirror? It's because reflexive pronouns or reflexiva pronomen works the same way as the mirror. Now let me clarify in details. What is reflexive pronouns or reflexiva pronomen? Reflexive pronouns are words that we use to reflect back on the subject. Again, reflect back on the subject. In other words, the subject and the object in a sentence or a clause are the same. Let me give you examples. He is washing himself. In Swedish, han tvättar sig. Han tvättar sig. The subject or the person that we are talking about in this sentence is he or han, while the object is himself or sig. Himself or sig refers to the same person as the subject, which is he or han. What I mean is that he is not washing other person, but he himself. So, our reflexive pronoun here is himself or say, as himself or say reflects back to the same subject. Here's another example. She is preparing herself. In Swedish, hon förbereder sig. Hon förbereder sig. Take note, our subject here is she or hon. Now, what do you think is the reflexive pronoun here? Exactly, herself or say, as herself or say reflects back to our subject, which is she or hon. To identify the right reflexive pronoun in a sentence or a clause, you can think about, does the word reflects back to the subject? Or does the word refers to the same person or thing as the subject? If the answer is yes, then that must be the right reflexive pronoun. The following are examples of reflexive pronouns or reflexiva pronomen. On the first column, you can see the personal pronouns, while on the third column, you can find the reflexive pronouns. On the second column, you can read the word tvättar. Tvättar means wash. We can use tvättar as our verb. Okay. I becomes may. You becomes they. He becomes say. She becomes say. It becomes say. Here, you can notice that I wrote blank because man in Swedish refers to anyone or any person in general. So, man becomes say. Next is we becomes oss, you becomes er, they becomes say. Alright, before we proceed, I would like to draw your attention to our reflexive pronouns. You might notice that most of our personal pronouns use say as the reflexive pronouns. It's only the may, they, oss, and er that are different. So, I guess that would be easier for you to remember. I, you, and we are the only pronouns that use different reflexive pronouns, while the rest use the same, which is say. Before we end this lesson, let's have a quick exercise. Which sentence do you think has a correct reflexive pronoun? Jag lär mig or jag lär honom. Great job! It's the first one. Why? It's because mig reflects back to the same subject as jag. The second sentence doesn't have any reflexive pronouns because honom here doesn't reflect back to the same subject. It means the subject jag refers to another person. Next, which sentence has a reflexive pronoun? Hon sminkar henne or hon sminkar sig. Well done! It's the second one. Hon sminkar sig. And our reflexive pronoun here is sig. It's because hon and sig refers to the same person. On the other hand, the first sentence refers to two different persons, hon and henne. So, there's no reflexive pronouns here. Hope I was able to help you understand and learn about reflexive pronouns or reflexiva pronomen. Want to learn more Swedish with Happy Bee online? Kindly send a message to happybeeswedishlessons@gmail.com. Thanks a lot for dropping by and have a nice day. Happy Bee, be happy!